Mr. Brown is in charge of the business in the absence of the manager. Mr. Brown is in charge of the business in the absence of the manager. He's in charge of the department. He's in charge of the department. He's in charge of administration at the hospital. He's in charge of administration at the hospital. He is in charge of our class. He is in charge of our class. He was in charge of preparing a magazine for publication. He was in charge of preparing a magazine for publication. He's in charge of the sales department. He's in charge of the sales department. He's in charge of entertaining the foreign guests. He's in charge of entertaining the foreign guests. Who is in charge of this building? Who is in charge of this building? I am in charge of this. I am in charge of this. I was in charge of reception. I was in charge of reception. I am in charge of employment. I am in charge of employment. I am in charge of general affairs. I am in charge of general affairs. I will be in charge of that in future. I will be in charge of that in future. I'm in charge of a part of that. I'm in charge of a part of that. Who is in charge of the child? Who is in charge of the child? You are in charge of the car. You are in charge of the car. His son has been in charge of the house. His son has been in charge of the house. Who is in charge of today? Who is in charge of today? I am in charge of the trumpets. I am in charge of the trumpets. I am in charge of accounting. I am in charge of accounting. I am in charge of analytical instruments. I am in charge of analytical instruments. I am in charge of budgeting. I am in charge of budgeting. He is in charge of that matter. He is in charge of that matter. I'm in charge of checking the deposits. I'm in charge of checking the deposits. I am in charge of shipping. I am in charge of shipping. I took over being in charge of that. I took over being in charge of that. I became in charge of your company. I became in charge of your company. I'm in charge of the manufacturing floor. I'm in charge of the manufacturing floor. I will continue to be in charge of this. I will continue to be in charge of this.